Sorry, I had to record real quick before I approved the AI notes from other folks.
Right.
So we're not officially started just yet.
No, I will hold off.
And then for my updates, I just made a little PowerPoint. Just I think it's easier for people to see visually as I'm talking.
Yes, I'm definitely of that persuasion.
Okay. And I like it, Dane. Do you have yours? I'd like you to share when you're reporting as well. I think it's good that people see it on paper. So it should be clicked already that I allowed everyone to have sharing access.
For some reason, my watch is about 2 minutes behind the computer.
Says 11:31.
Okay, that's what my computer says. My watch says 11:29. So
already to do the time change.
Yeah, that or my watch is just falling behind. But we have a pretty good group here, so and it's 11:31. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off. So welcome everyone to our Behavioral Health and Housing Subcommittee meeting for October. I'll call it to order now. And our first order of business is approval of minutes for September 30th. I have a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Janelle. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Dane. So I have a motion to second to approve the minutes from September 30th. All in favor, either say aye or raise your hand. All opposed? I see nobody opposed, so motion passes. Thank you. So our next order of business, I would like everybody to introduce themselves. So I will go around and call on you, and you can tell us who you are and who you represent. So I'm just going to go by my computer here. Dane Zahner.
Dane Zahner, he, him pronouns. I'm Southern Oregon's prevention manager with HIV Alliance.
Thank you, Dane. Shelby Slay.
Hi there, I'm Shelby Slay and I work on the recovery support team through ADAPT.
Shelby. Jesse Spain.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jesse Spain. I'm the Regional Director for Painted Horse Recovery.
Thank you, Jesse. Lori Wick.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name's Lori Wick, and I'm a community builder consultant. So.
Thank you, Lori. Julia Anselmo.
Hello, I'm Julia Anselmo. I'm the Outreach and Engagement Specialist for UCAN.
Thank you, Julia. Janelle.
Janelle Kohler, Executive Director for the Housing Authority of Douglas County, and also facilitator for our local partnership of communities that form HTAG.
Thank you, Janelle. Chad Campbell.
Hi, everyone. Chad Campbell, he, him pronouns, Community Engagement Liaison with Boulder Care.
Okay. Teresa Roche.
Hi, Teresa. I'm with WorkSource and I'm a career coach and we help people find careers or jobs. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Kim Gandy.
Hey, Kim Gandy, Overdose Prevention with Douglas Public Health Network.
Thank you, Kim. Wendy Lang.
Good morning, Wendy Lang over here at the Douglas County Juvenile Department.
Thank you, Wendy. My next, it says V. Moser is my reading it.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Moser. I'm with Umpqua Health Alliance. I'm the manager for community engagement. And I recently updated my computer, so I'll fix my name and title here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Debbie Hollander.
I'm Debbie Hollander, and I'm the community engagement coordinator at Umpqua Health.
Thank you, Debbie. Heather Johnson.
Heather Johnson, program director of adult mental health services at ADAPT.
Thank you, Heather. Christina Donahue. Okay, we'll come back to Christina.
She's our drug court coordinator.
Right. I knew she was. I just didn't. I don't. Gosh, he's still. Oh, it keeps muting. She says it keeps muting me. Okay, come back to Christina. Ellen.
Ellen No with the Douglas County Juvenile Department.
Thank you, Ellen. Emma Dugan.
Good morning. I'm the Forensic Mental Health Services Supervisor with DOUT.
And we have 3 note takers and Robert Wilson.
All right, Robert Wilson, Douglas County Circuit Court with the Mental Health Court and Aid and Assist.
Thank you, Robert. Okay, so that's what we have right now on our meeting participants, and thank you everyone for showing up. Our next order of business is our connecting point update with Dane.
I guess it helps to unmute, but you should be able to see my screen. This is our connecting point data. We had a total of 238 services, 103 male, 134 female, 1 identified as non-binary. We did have a few age. ADAPT's been great about getting the age at outpatient treatment on Thursdays, but 104 people identified in age, 22, 18 to 30, 55, 31 to 50, 21, 51 to 64. And then the one that always concerns me is 65 and older. We had 6 people. Identification, we've had a few gaps on getting the ID. I'm working with some agencies to try to get the IDs, but we only had 49 IDs so that we could unduplicate it. And there were no duplicates. So we had 24 male, 25 female. Showers, 147, 127 unique individuals when we unduplicated that. Miscellaneous resources was our number 1, but that's a lot of like the bags, the pens, and just things that don't hit the category. The pamphlets, 202 of those. The lock zone, which I'm glad to see, that's number 2 this month, and 123 individuals got a lock zone out there. Wound care kits, always something that clients love, and 104 of those, and there's multiple agencies that are handing those out. Hygiene, 57, food resources, 40, harm reduction, again, we don't do that on any unauthorized property in the city of Roseburg, and there were 29 people that utilized our harm reduction or prevention services. Condoms, 26, socks, 21, pet food, 15 people. It's always nice to see people have pet food. And there were a few cat foods in there. I just put it all together into one. Fentanyl test kits, 12. Testing, and that's live testing, is 2 people. Again, I just wanted to identify that in the city of Roseburg, we do not do this on city or park property. Get a syringe collection. We did. So that has been, I'm sorry, the GATA syringe collection, 0. I started coming to the office is what they're telling us. And then Sharps containers distributed, unknown. That wasn't collected this month. But the Dream Center served 370 unsheltered people during their food and clothing services, which is great and really gives us a capacity to help support people. But that's unsheltered. They do serve more people than that. Some people are sheltered that utilize that service. So I think that's just a really strong number of our unsheltered people that are going there for services Monday through Thursday. You can host 25 people. That's amazing. That team is doing a great job connecting with people on the street and getting them housed. We were missing data from 9 events, and sorry, I don't know why I put the Sharp. We did collect 1 Sharps container out in the parks, and I should have looked upward when I was updating this. But any questions? I think we're doing a great job. I'm really excited. ODHS is starting a Myrtle Creek event on the 3rd, quarterly event on the 3rd Wednesday using the same church and the food bank. And so some of us, if you didn't respond to Courtney's message, please do respond, because she needs to know if agencies are coming. But that should be another way to really build. I mean, that's what we've been focusing on. The team has met, and they're working on doing some outreach prior to events, because we're still seeing people struggle with like being swept out and, not knowing where to go safely, and just a lot of unknown. And so trying to connect with those individuals, especially in Winston, we're trying to work with some of the areas who are camping and identify those. But people have gone in Winston, they've gone really super deep. They're hiding. And, we have to deal with that and try to rebuild that trust and help support people. Janelle, you had a question?
Was the showers primarily at the OTP clinic, or was that were those getting around to different?
That's all showers at 5 days a week. The team sends me a shower update and they have an unidentifier in there. So that is, I would say 12 to 15 are on Thursday, but they do a lot. They do usually at least probably anywhere from 6 to 12 at most events.
Nice.
And some, like Winston, they've been taking some of Bernie's campers and transporting them down to Winston to get showers because we just haven't seen a lot of people in Winston come utilize the services. So, and they were doing that at the Seventh-day Adventist Church for a while, but they really are trying to do a focus outreach for like an hour before in some of the areas to connect with people that might be unsheltered, to encourage them to stop by. And, but I think we're still serving a lot of people. And, Jeremy and Holly have been getting me the Dream Center data to just kind of give us a snapshot of like how many people we could serve there. The UCAN number of just one of our success stories is like they've built that up from like averaging 15 up to 25 people are getting housed. And I think that's our number one issue in Douglas County is how do we get people housed? And did that answer that question, Janelle, with way too much information?
Dane, are you not able to access the South River Medical Center in Winston anymore?
No, we are using the South River Medical Center, and that is the first and third Wednesday of the month, and that is from 12 to 3. We just haven't been seeing many people come, Alan. And so we've been trying to identify where people are camping. The tribe owns that one property along the river and they kind of push people back. And then there are supposedly some people down by the boat ramp and the AMVET office, but it's been harder to connect in that area. And so we've just been trying to think out of the box, like how do we connect? Best way to do it is go out an hour before and encourage people with direct contact the people they're familiar with, like, hey, we're over at South River. And then Drain, we're doing the same thing. That's the fourth Wednesday of the month. Trying to build that up and connect with community members that live there, ask them where people are, and it's a slow growth. There's a trust building that you need to build with people. And then Myrtle Creek, that is the second Wednesday, and Darlene and the church host us. And then we've been trying some different avenues, like putting the shower trailer over near the food bank because it's so close in proximity, just that little wooden bridge to get over to the services. Jesse.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Dane. That's amazing. And you guys are doing an amazing job. I really appreciate you guys. My question is, I'm just wondering, I'm just thinking ahead a minute, thinking about how last year at the point down there in that mud pit where there was like all kinds of infectious disease problems happened. There was all kinds of trouble down there when it came to like people being wet, muddy, does anybody know who owns that fenced lot across east of the library? Isn't that a city property? Anybody know?
At one time it was county. I do know that because like Chris Boyce had this was many years ago, had like a stop by station that he built there, but I thought the county sold that property. I could be wrong. We could probably go on the Douglas County website and pull up.
Okay.
You can find the property owners of each property by clicking on them. But I thought the county sold that.
That's my recollection.
Yeah, it was the guy that has the meat business now on Harvard. Is that no, not Nickabob's. Maybe it's Nickabob's.
Oh God. Okay.
He owned it. I don't know if he was able to then sell it because he was going to build there, but then he took over the old grocery outlet. And so I don't know if he sold the property that's fenced or not, but it's not the county anymore.
Okay. It sure would be interesting and kind of nice to get people up and out of the mud this winter. I hope the city has some types of plans because last year it was kind of disastrous. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Dane, thank you very much. And I'm afraid that the Dream Center is going to see a ramp up of people needing food assistance in the next days. Okay, go ahead, Dane. Oh, I know you just thumb up, you bet. Okay, we go on to our behavioral health update. Cheryl's not here, but Corey, you have the information.
Sorry, I was on mute. Can everyone see the page?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm talking and nobody's nodding. Okay. So Cheryl was feeling under the weather, so she sent me her report ahead of time. And for impacts, I didn't see where she put the total cohort. I know we were mid 700s last time she reported. This time she's putting the teams provided 290 services during 189 encounters. And I'm not going to read through all this because I will send this out after our meeting, but this is services provided for the different topics that they have here. As she said, impacts services are focused on the 239 cohort members currently meeting the active cohort criteria of 4 or more incarcerations within the previous calendar year. Types of services are the same that she's mentioned before, but it's substance use disorder treatment, mental health treatment, primary healthcare treatment, connections to Umpqua Health Assistance, CLCM, Peace at Home, job applications, Social Security applications, basic need items, employment related items, which I know one time she's reported in the past a person that they helped who got a new job, and part of it was needing some specialized work boots. So it was nice that this program was able to help with that. They help with transportation, treatment appointments, DHS, bus passes, DMV assistance, and so on. So they do a lot of great things with this grant, which I'll discuss some grant items a little bit later in the meeting. The resolution rooms, which is housed over there by the Sobering Center. In the last month, 5 individuals stayed, the total 7 nights. They're being served for a variety of reasons, including detox placement, inpatient placement, transportation arrangements to counties of origin, appointments, court dates, engagement, and outpatient services. The resolution rooms were recently used to provide safe housing to a survivor of domestic violence while they waited for a ride to take them to safe housing. So it's a great feature to have this option there so they can help people in that circumstance. I know she's helped people with previous that's had house fires. She helped a client that had dementia that was from another area. They were able to have housed there until they could find family. So it's a great resource to have in our community, safe space for people to stay. For mobile crisis, I like this program, which is part of Impacts. Mobile Crisis for Q3, which is Q3, they had 654 unique calls for services. 501 required an in-person response, while 153 were resolved by telephone contact. So this also shows the importance of their mobile units that they have. They have 2 vans where they can provide services. They welcome their new mobile crisis supervisor, Rachel Fowler. Rachel will be making rounds and meeting with partners soon in Douglas County. For the Sobering Center, these were the services that were provided from the end of September to October 26. And so they had 13 that they provided food to, liquids, so I'm assuming that's water and maybe some other items, 7 for clothing, 6 for laundry. They didn't have showers or hygiene kits or naloxone or wound care kits provided. But they had 14 total clients. They do get a lot of clients from law enforcement typically, but I have seen an uptick from mobile crisis. So the DAP mobile crisis brought in 7. And then one thing that they're reporting now are they're checking to see if someone's housed or not. This time they had more folks housed than not. So they had 7 that had homes and 2 were considered unhoused. So from their total of 9 clients. And that is all she had for her report. It's a little different. Do you still have a question, Jesse, or is your hand up from a previous? Okay. Sorry, Cheryl's not here. We do have some other great ADAPT folks on this meeting, so if there are some questions, they may be able to answer some if anyone has anything.
Thank you, Corey. Is there any other questions for Corey as far as what Cheryl's report is? Okay. Corey, I don't see anybody here from the Mercy Medical Center to give. Lindsay's not here, but is there anybody else?
Lindsay wasn't able to attend. She had other meetings, so it conflicted with this one.
Okay. So any other organizations that want to report anything on their behavioral health? Okay. Nobody? Going on to housing updates. Janelle, do you have a update for us from the Housing Authority?
With the Housing Authority hat on, it's been business as usual. Section 8, we expect to start back up January 1. That's been kind of at a standstill. So we'll be able to start pulling from the top of the wait list again January 1. And so again, make sure addresses and contact information is updated in our system. In addition, putting on the H-tag hat, I think our primary concern is the food stamp situation pending looming here coming in November. So just working on ways we can support our food banks and our fish and whatever other resources that we can for all of our mutual clients. And so just working through our options on that and getting information out to people that might need resources and where they can go for that. So hopefully we'll have some information we can share flyer wise here shortly and to help with that as well. So that is my primary updates.
Thank you, Janelle. Any questions for Janelle? And like I said, I'm guessing you're going to see a lot more needs out there very shortly.
Janelle, sorry, Alan, if I could just say, Janelle, I know many of us are concerned about the possible disruption to SNAP benefits. One thing that we're trying to understand, I've got a meeting. Actually, I'm going to have to stop this meeting early and go to an internal meeting first, but I would love it if we could have like one, just unified resource guide, so we all have the same message. So this is where the resources are available. This is where you can go. Rather than multiple resources out there. So that's one of the things I'd like to talk about and consider when you get that flyer together. Maybe we need to chat offline, but I just want to throw that out there. I know all of you will be thinking about this as well. And if that makes sense, if you're not in agreement, you want to do your own thing, let me know that too. I just felt like, shouldn't there be one unified message for the community?
Thank you for that. And I think that's a consensus. Just want to get help support the work that's already being done in the community. And minimize the amount of transportation needed to get individuals to the resources that they need as well. And I don't know, is there anybody on the call that is from DHS that can speak to this as far as, and I'm clicking quickly on my emails because I had a good summary from the webinar Thursday that could probably be of help. Hold on. Just real quick, from information that if you don't know or already know this, should the shutdown continue, SNAP deposits will be delayed if the shutdown continues past November 1st. There could even be a slight delay if the shutdown isn't ended shortly before the 1st. Food and benefit programs that are not affected by the shutdown, WIC, TANF, and school meal programs. So let me say that again. Food and benefit programs that are not to be expected to be affected, which is WIC, TANF, and school meal programs should not be affected by the shutdown. EBT cards, the cards that they're loading the food stamps onto, will continue to work after the 1st. There are rumors on social media that the cards will stop working. that's not the case. If they still have a balance on their card, they should still be accessible. Benefits from October that are left on the EBT cards after the first can still be used to that point. Oregon DHS offices will remain open. People can still apply for SNAP and get approvals. The deposit of November funds could be delayed once a family is approved. So they'll just be in the queue for when they're allowed to be released. DHS expects that families will get their full November benefits once they receive the funding for the month. This ultimately depends on whether the federal government provides full funding for November. SNAP recipients are still required to do their recertifications and updates with DHS. So hopefully you find that information helpful as well.
Thank you, Janelle. That is important to hear those things, because you hear so many different things going on, and I'm not sure exactly sometimes what is actually true and what isn't. Thank you. So nobody, so also, Corey, I don't see anybody from the Gary Leaf Navigation Center here.
Correct, but Julie is here. I don't know if she has any number updates. Last reported they had a little over 100 on the wait list.
I'm not too sure with the numbers at the Nav Center.
For one of my drug court graduate projects, we did just deliver a whole truckload of items to the Navigation Center last week, which included sleeping bags and lots of clothing, shoes, gloves, hats, and I think some throw blankets. He also has a lot of new items that he has purchased from money that he's raised, which will be delivered at a later time.
Oh, that's very good. Thank you. Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay. Anybody else on the call here that wants to give any updates on housing? I know that last time, I forget who it was that was having trouble with getting transportation to clients needing to access the things they needed. Is transportation still a problem?
So that was Trista Saltikoff with Chadwick Clubhouse. She was saying some clients in South County no longer had the ride service to get to Chadwick. And so I'm not sure if that was alleviated. She was asking if there were any partner volunteers that would want to help drive. I guess the vehicles were donated to use, but she just needed volunteers to drive. So I haven't heard back from her if she's had that alleviated or not.
I know that the bus does not go South County for the time being, so I'm hoping that that is, I'm guessing that's going to still be a problem at the present time. Okay, go on to our community presentation, and Julia gave us a great presentation last time. We ran out of time, so we're going to ask her to go ahead and take the floor and present more of her presentation.
Awesome, thank you. Share my screen. Can you all see my PowerPoint?
Yes, at least I can.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for having me again. I know that we had some of our other UCAN staff touch on our housing department. But as a social service agency, we have a variety of other resources and programs. So I would like to just touch on those to give you a little bit of a overview on how well-rounded our agency is. So I'm gonna just quickly skip through this. This is what we went through last month. I do want to highlight point in time count one more time, as I'm kind of working alongside our homeless department to coordinate different partnerships for our point in time count, which takes place on January 28th, which is a Wednesday of 2026. And UCAN is leading the point in time count here in Douglas County. And we are not only sending out roving teams with supplies and food, but we are also hosting a large resource event that we will need help with. So I will be sending out that link if your organization wants to attend our resource event and bring some supplies and resources alongside you. We're going to be doing the surveys with the rowing teams as well as on site that day. We're gonna have the shower trailer, the mobile clinic, as well as a variety of other community partners. We'll have a food truck for everybody to have a lunch. So it should be a good day. So I'll send out more information on how you can help support this event. Okay, I'm going to dive into the Department of Health and Wellness. So we have a few programs within this department. The first being nurse home visiting. One of these programs is Family Connects. And this program is unique because it's actually one of the only programs within our agency that is not specifically for low-income individuals. It's actually for anyone in Oregon qualifies for free in-home visits by registered nurses. So we have nurses go into homes. I think they can have up to 3 visits, and it usually takes place, the first visit takes place in the age between 3 and 4 weeks. And these are mainly a large part of the visit is answering parent questions, providing support, maybe referrals, and assistance with childcare, nutrition support, and all that good stuff. So I think this is new as of 2025 and quite a special program because it's open to all mothers. We also have 2 other programs called Babies First and Cocoon. Babies First serves children 0 through 5, and this helps with helping parents navigate different, resources and supports, breastfeeding challenges, developmental screenings, education, all of that good stuff, helping them address medical and dental needs, making sure the baby is growing up to be happy and healthy. The Cocoon is a program that serves all the way from childhood to adulthood and making sure that they are supported. It's specifically for those with physical, developmental, behavioral, or emotional disabilities. And this is very involved with providing referrals and support and utilizing healthcare services in our community. Our next program is Healthy Families. Healthy Families serves children under the age of 3, specifically those who are like first-time mothers, teen moms, or multiple birth parents. It starts early on, and it focuses a lot on family systems, engaging the entire family in activities and meeting them where they're at. So our Family Connects, our Healthy Families staff goes into the people's homes, or maybe they want to meet at the park. And it's really just to build up those relationships between the family members. We have our WIC program, which is Women, Infants, and Children. WIC is a place where families get healthy food and a lot more. Helps pregnant people, breastfeeding moms, and children under the age of 5. So WIC provides nutrition education, breastfeeding support, healthy foods, and health screenings and referrals. There is applicants must meet 4 criteria to be eligible for WIC. Must be in Oregon, pregnant, postpartum, with an infant or child under the age of 5, meet income qualifications, and then have a nutritional need or risk. Another part of the WIC services are the Farm Direct vouchers. So they're like vouchers in a packet, $4, like increments, and they can be used for essentially like the summer and fall. And these can be used to support local farms and markets throughout the county. So those have a deadline of November 30th. So if you know of anyone with those WIC Farm Direct vouchers, they'll want to use those up soon. We have our UCAN Food Bank, formerly known as Feeding Umpqua. We are rebranding the name, so it is now known as UCAN Food Bank. And we are a food distribution center, so we have lots of funding and fundraising to get a bunch of food to then distribute to all of our pantry partners. So these are just some statistics. In 2024, the food bank provided food distribution to over 70,000 emergency food boxes, 95,000 meals. So just to give you a little idea of who we serve. So we partner with 15 pantries, 3 community kitchens, and then we also have the mobile outpost that goes to our very rural areas supporting Elkton, Days Creek, Camas Valley, and Diamond Lake. And that's on a monthly schedule. So they bring that mobile trailer out there, and the individuals that live in those communities can have like a mini pop-up market, which is a great thing. At the bottom, I put the link of on our website, our food pantries list, and I put in the comments, we are working alongside our food bank and pantries to make sure that list is completely updated with locations, contacts, and operation times. People do not refer people to the UCAN food bank to pick up food. We want to refer everybody to the food pantries, and they all have different times of the day that they are open. So we're going to be getting that out very soon. Our CEO, Jordan, also released a press release on a call of action for our community partners to really work together in these upcoming weeks during this difficult time. So listing some ways that we can all help and ways to support our clients in the time being. So I will provide that information. Okay, so moving on to our next department. One of these programs is weatherization. Weatherization provides energy audits to assess whether these clients are in need of insulation, sealing air leaks, HVAC upgrades, and improving indoor air quality. Dozens of homes are improved annually. It lowers the energy bills and provides healthier living conditions. There is also another aspect to this program called Healthy Homes, and it focuses specifically on indoor air quality and just like home environment. So anyone who's receiving weatherization services, no matter if it's a whole new HVAC system or just like sealing the windows, they'll receive education as well as an air scrubber and sometimes additional services listed in that third row paragraph right there. And they'll receive this Healthy Home service. So another additional aspect to this program. And another, is there a question? Maybe I just heard an echo of myself. Another important part of this is that education piece, because no matter you know, how upgraded your services and you know, HVAC systems is, if you're not educated on how to save your you know, energy and turning off the lights and unplugging things, it really makes a difference in the client's energy bills and such. So of course, there's eligibility. So this is cool because it's open up to homeowners and renters, including mobile homes. It's essentially anything that's not on wheels. And then for renters, as long as they're landlords approved, then they may be eligible. So they can apply in our office, fill out an application, a short application for a wait list, which is currently 2 to 3 years. And then once they're on top, they'll be contacted for further information. We have our affordable housing property management program. UCAN currently operates 92 units from Drain, Sutherland, Green, Winston, Canyonville, with the majority of them being in Roseburg. The eligibility or wait list has gone down a lot. So currently I think it's 1 to 2 years. So if anyone is even considering it, we highly encourage them to hop on that wait list. And they do kind of like they go through it and call a bunch of people to make sure that that they are still interested, and we get updated information once they are reaching the top of that list. So they have to reach income requirements, no more than 50% of the median income when they are, this qualification is when they're getting more information when they're on top of the list. So even if they get more income over the years and they're still living at the properties, we don't kick them out. We actually just kind of work with them to make sure the rent is still reasonable based on what their income is. We also have resident services. This isn't as active. We are looking to build this up, but we have like rent well education, community garden programs, a lot of community partners come in, and that sort of stuff. So Seth's information is there as well. Our property manager. Utility assistance is an annual program that provides financial support for income qualified households to pay heating and cooling costs. So there's kind of like two seasons to this program, summer and winter, or heating and cooling. And the goals of this program is to reduce energy burden, maintain financial stability. It eliminates the need to choose between necessities, reduce debt, and overall prevent disconnection. So these clients do not need to have a disconnection notice. They do not need to be behind on their bill. We want to prevent that from happening. So if they qualify, they'll receive a credit directly to their power source and go on from there. So there's two large funds that they pull from. The first being LIHEAP, and these payments can be made to clients with wood, oil, pellets, small bottle propane, deliverable propane, gas, and electric. And then the second funding source is specifically for Pacific Power clients only. And both of these programs serve both Douglas and Josephine County. UA has 19 different contracted utility vendors, and then they also do a lot of community engagement and outreach to make sure the clients in the outlying communities also know about this opportunity. Our Department of Early Learning, we have our Head Start and Early Head Start programs here in Douglas County. It serves families prenatal to 5 years old. So our Early Head Start is ages 0 through 3. And then our Head Start program serves children 4 and 5. And it does not have the curriculum for like the school district or ESD. It's specifically Head Start curriculum and a lot of hands-on learning. So we have our main facility is up at the Martha Young Service Center. And then we also have a bunch of different classrooms across Douglas County as well. And then we have our money management program. I believe this is the last one. Our money management helps seniors and individuals with disabilities maintain financial independence, peace of mind, and protection from fraud and exploitation. There is 2 aspects to this program, the main one being representative payee services. I believe they have around 110 clients that they work alongside with. And these clients are appointed by SSA to manage benefits for individuals. So essentially these clients, all of their income, including Social Security, VA benefits, and pensions, are managed by our money manager. So they'll receive all of these funds and then distribute to pay their essential expenses such as housing, utilities, food, and medical care. And then they will save any remaining funds and kind of give the client a monthly allowance if their the remaining money is reasonable to then do so. And then the second one is bill pay services. So they assist with managing funds or assist with it, but they do not directly manage their funds. So The property manager does not have access over it. They just provide financial support. Whether it's short-term, long-term, it helps them develop budgeting skills, reduce debt, and then set up like online banking or savings accounts while they still have full control. This is a secondary program, so I believe if they're at capacity currently, but they can always jump on a wait list. And I think they serve around like 10 or 20 clients with this bill pay. Okay, I know that was a lot of information. So I will be providing this PowerPoint to Corey to share out. Of course, you can always hop on our website, or I'd be happy to connect with anybody. And I can always connect with other staff from UCAN if you have any questions about specific programs. So thanks for listening to my spiel. Does anybody have any questions currently?
I do, Julia. So I had a couple questions. You said the housing you said a 1 or 2 year wait list.
Currently.
Is that correct? If people are in their house, the housing that you provide, what is the reason that they become open? And you don't kick anybody out because they're starting making more money or anything like that. But how does housing become open so that there is an open unit for somebody else to come into?
Yeah, everybody has their own reason. So whether they are growing their family and they need a larger apartment, maybe they are making more money and they want to move to a place that's more comfortable. We also have a lot of success stories of tenants then moving on to be homeowners. We have others just moving out of county as well. So the wait list is very difficult to say because, you know, people can give you notice in 30 days that they're leaving, or they may live there for 10 plus years. So it is very much an estimate, and they do their best to give somewhat of an idea to our folks that are on the wait list. So it used to be like 3 to 4 years. So they really went through that list and eliminated those who have moved on and have had other opportunities. So.
Okay. And also about the newborn baby help. How do people that need access to program, they need to find you, or can somebody from UCAN find them if they need help?
For which program?
When the multiple babies or babies that are first time parents.
Yeah, so we had a couple different programs. The Family Connects is the one that anyone in the state, or if we focus on Douglas County, can connect with the Family Connects program and receive those services. And then as for like the Babies First and Cocoon services, I believe those are direct referrals. And I'm not an expert on every program, so I'm not sure who's issuing those referrals. I'm assuming just like healthcare providers, but.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Julia? Thanks for the very good information. That's a lot of information, but also very, very interesting and very good. Okay. Going forward, so our next. Anybody else anybody else have any updates they want to provide before we move on to our roundtable or other businesses needed? Any good of the order? I have something that Corey and I had talked about, because our meetings for the end of November and December are going to interfere with kind of Thanksgiving and Christmas, and people needing to be gone on vacation or being in family situations where they don't want to have to come to a meeting. Corey and I maybe suggested that perhaps we can have a date in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, that we could have a meeting that would take care of both those months. And I suggested, and I think Corey suggested, that maybe we could have the first Tuesday in December. We don't want to cancel meetings for 2 months and not have anything. I'd like to see us get together again sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it seems like maybe the first Tuesday in December would be appropriate. If anybody has any other ideas or any other suggestions, I'd be happy to entertain them. Is that appropriate for everybody? Can everybody kind of decide that first Tuesday in December is okay? Okay, I see some thumbs up. Okay, very good. So Corey, if we can move forward on that first Tuesday in December, maybe that's going to be our November, December meeting, and we can still get together and share information, because I definitely don't want to go 2 months without a meeting.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you, Corey. And then we'll go to our grant treatment court updates.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. All right, can everyone see that okay? Okay. I'll try to be quick. I know we're getting close to time. So I just wanted to update on a few things that we're doing throughout the courts and different grant ideas that we have. So first thing, with our mental health court, we are adding or have added Thrive Umpqua to treatment courts. And we started with mental health court. We've done some shopping tours. And what we do with the shopping tour is that Thrive Umpqua comes and staffs this. And usually a mental health court will provide anywhere from 6 to 10 folks from the court to come and participate in this. And they talk about eating healthy, how to stretch their budget so they can purchase things that are more sustainable, talk about reading labels. So it's not just how to shop, it's also some of the basics that they can learn, how they can better take care of themselves, eat healthier, use food as medicine. So it's been a great program. We're working to finalize the last of our memorandum of understanding with them to come from our current grant contract. And once that's done, we'll move forward with cooking classes, walking rides, and purpose workshops. And hopefully we can get that moved on to drug court as well. But right now we just started with mental health court. Our largest grant right now is our Justice Reinvestment Program grant. We were just awarded a little over 1.7 million, which was great. So this one will go until the end of August of 2027. With this grant, it's for purposes of the RSAT program and some housing funds mixed within that, but we also have to provide some funds to some victim service programs. In Douglas County, we have two. So we split the funds 50-50 with Peace at Home and Douglas Cares. Both of those also have voting seats on our LPSCC council. For mental health court and Hope Drug Court, we did get some reduction across the board, not just for us, but for all courts that applied for new grants. We weren't reduced as much as we thought would happen, so that's good for us. We did just have to wait for contracts because there were 4 protests from Clatsop County, Malheur, Harney, and Multnomah. It had nothing to do with our submittals. That's just in general because they felt they were not receiving as much funds as they wanted. The CJC met on October 21st and denied all 4 protests. So they're going to be moving forward. I haven't seen contracts just yet, but here in the bold for both courts, I have highlighted the amount that we've been awarded. From that, they do divvy it up a little bit where the OJD gets a small portion compared to what we have for the county amount. For our Bureau of Justice Assistance Grant and Impacts Grant. So BJA is the one that we were concerned with because of the federal shutdown. So we were able to get a 1-year extension accepted because we were not able to spend down our funds because we weren't able to hire a discharge planner for so long within to the grant. We were ordered, we received this in fall of 22, but she was hired in April of 24. So we had a lot of money that we needed to expend, and they allowed us to extend it to the end of September next year, which is great for us. It covers the jail discharge planner, some minimal supplies, and some housing funds. So with the shutdown, we've lost our technical advisor monthly calls, our symposium and conferences that we used to be able to go to, and then quarterly work sessions and trainings. For impacts, we asked for an extension and were awarded to the end of this year. Part of our issue with spending the funds down for this grant is because we were waiting on ADAPT's new campus. And I've been told that it's going to be proceeding, and Jerry Sullivan was working on ways to make sure we can get this finalized before the end of the year so we don't lose or have to send any money back. So I'm still working with ADAPT on that. They did tell us through the Criminal Justice Commission that they will have some funds available this next year. It won't be in the high amounts that we've been used to, and they're looking at changing grant requirements to better show successes of programs. So we're not sure what that'll look like, but as I know more, I have an impact subcommittee that I'll update, and I'll do some brief updates with this committee and the LPSCC itself. But I had some good news. I just had an email this week that said on October 9, the Senate passed the Second Chance Reauthorization Act of 2025, which is huge, which could help the BJA grant. So the Senate passed the vote of 77-20 and is now moving forward to the House for consideration. Commissioner Boyce, who's our chair of LPSCC, allowed me to sign on behalf as a LPSCC coordinator to be part of this national letter of support. And so this support letter mentioned information that over 95% of prison population will eventually be released, with more than 400,000 individuals released each year. And it's an even higher number when we talk about the entering and exiting of local jails. So the Second Chance Act provides resources to states, tribal, local governments, and community organizations to ensure the people returning from prison and jail and juvenile facilities each year continue to receive coordinated, evidence-based reentry services. I just found here, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for next year because it sounds like it's got a good momentum finally. So I'm hoping that this comes back because we don't want to lose what we've started in the jail. Since we've hired Rochelle, it's been amazing with the services that she's able to provide, and that warm handoff and the follow-up to make sure people are getting the care that she schedules. The medication assisted therapy grant, this is another one that I help with in the jail. We have a formulary, which means they divvy up funds that are available to the different counties based on the needs and numbers that are provided. So for Douglas County, we're eligible for a little over $355,000. Unfortunately, that's not covering the cost of our program. As Ellen and I were looking at the numbers today, that's only about 35% of the actual cost, but it definitely helps shave off of some of the costs for that. So we will find out the final vote next week on November 4th. There's an afternoon meeting from 1 to 5. It is a formulary, so that's the amount that we are said to get, but I never want to say that it's a definite because things can change or there could be protests again. So right now with the grants that we know, the top 3 of the amounts that we know for sure, I added Matt in there because it's a formulary. So right now we're looking at just a little over $2.7 million for some of the grants that we just reapplied for the new biennium, which isn't too bad. And then we hope to hear some great news again for future for the BJA and impacts mobile crisis. I just put this in here about the beginning because drug court is next. So our next graduation is December 16 at the fairgrounds, 5:15 p.m. As I've mentioned before, we've outgrown the courtroom. We average around, let's say 175 to 200 plus people who attend these because they love to hear the stories. I think it's really important because this is definitely changing lives. We're seeing it all the time. It's reducing our recidivism. We have some amazing community projects that spark from this. So once they get into graduate phase, the courts have allowed them to meet with me to kind of talk about their ideas. And then my role is to help connect them with resources or an agency, so to speak, so they can bring their idea to fruition. So we have 7 people trying to graduate right now, some benefiting from this or partners. We have one that's helping the jail with some recreation items and a new basketball hoop that's on the roof that's kind of starting to break down. The Roseburg Lions Club, we're going to have some vision screenings at 2 connecting point dates in November. Plus, he's trying to collect some reader glasses for the jail. Another one doing art packets for kids in the area. We're helping the Jean Betchel School of Music. Money raised for them is going to help with instruments and lessons. And we're going to have a food event where Alexander's is going to donate 10% of meal proceeds. And that's all day on November 6th. Gary Leaf Navigation Center, you heard me briefly talk about how we already delivered one full pickup truckload of items. He's still working to finish his collection of things. Plus, when he has his final drop off, we're also going to have a hot meal provided. Another one's doing backpacks for RSAT graduates. There's going to be some basic hygiene items and essential items. She's also doing a bingo event on November 9 at the American Legion Hall. That'll be from 2 to 6. And so money raised from that with a bake sale is going to go towards helping her purchase necessary items for her backpacks. And then we have a stocking stuffer drive. This is split into two. One's part of it's helping ODHS identified teens in their program, and the other is Shop with a Cop, which has been here for quite some time and a successful program. I believe their Shop with a Cop date is going to be December 13. Other news that we have, I received a small grant from Umpqua Health Alliance of $5,000, which was wonderful for us because we have an outdated video on our website that only talked about RSAT and drug court. And what we really want to highlight is also mental health court with it. So we are going to have a shorter video that's going to be displayed in the jail. Unfortunately, there's been shortages all over the state as far as public defenders, DAs, and whatnot. So some folks that we have in the jail will have representative services from folks that aren't in Douglas County. So those are not as well versed as what we have here. And so what we want to have is this video displayed so folks while in custody can see it and then help make determination if maybe they might be interested in one of the programs and talk to their public defender and see if that's a possible route and then go through staffing process from there. And the other video that'll be longer will be geared more towards public view and our website. And this is being worked on by 713 Studios. We completed a contract and we're going to be working on a date to finalize to start doing our filming. Another thing that we did through LPSCC was a SIM mapping, which is sequential intercept map. This was held in 2018. Sorry, fast forwarded. Sorry. And we just did another one in September 2025 at the Douglas County Library. So GOBI is our Greater Oregon Behavioral Health Inc. who facilitated the event. The purpose of this was to lay it out with all of our community partners to decide what are some gaps in services that we have here in Douglas County. So unfortunately, I don't have a report yet. She said it takes her about 90 days from the event to really fully dive into things they record during the SimMap workshops. We had some large pieces of poster paper that we wrote on when we broke out in little mini sessions. And so once I get that report, we're going to provide it to the LPSCC Council in February, and then we'll share with this group as well and have it posted to our website. Something new that's exciting, I'm working with Christy Gramman. Her husband is our jail pastor. They run the True North Star Ministry Services in town, and their son runs and operates the Roseburg Dream Center. So Christy and I are working towards a 2026 Community Reinvestment Summit, which I brought up briefly, and we're going to schedule a reentry simulation, have guest speakers, discussions, information employer booths, and lunch provided. And this is also Second Chance Act month. So I'll be seeing if I can work with the commissioners to maybe have a proclamation before we have this event, just to make it a little more special. And that's all I had for that. So I will stop sharing. I apologize, I went so fast, but I will also share my PowerPoint along with UCAN so everyone can have it later if I went a little too quick. But I'm happy to say we are getting grant funds. I know there's a lot of shutdowns and scary things out there for folks. But thankfully we can still keep a lot of our services running as is, and then we'll work towards other connections to help other folks out there.
Thank you, Corey. Any questions for Corey? Christina, do you have a question? Or is that just thank you?
Wendy was clapping. It's a Wendy.
Okay, oh, that's clapping. Okay. Okay. I don't understand all the emojis yet. Okay. Corey, yeah, that's great. And I'm glad to see some of those grants coming through. Obviously everything's needed and we never seem to have as much as we'd like to have, but at least, you know, we do very well with what we.
Yeah, we had some meetings with Robert Wilson and Christina Donahue before we submitted our grants for drug court, mental health court, knowing we'd have reductions. So this time they had us come up with scenarios. What would you cut at 5%, 10%, 15%? So we were kind of aware that we're going to see some cuts, but it wasn't as deep as we feared. So that's amazing.
And that's good because once you start a program and it gets popular and it's doing some good, you really hate to see the fact that you might have to cut back some of it because, you know, you have great plans and they do work. Obviously we show success all the time. So I'm happy that at least our cuts weren't as much as they might have been. Thank you, Corey. Any other questions for Corey? Anybody else have anything they want to share with the group? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I put in the chat just Roseburg Grocery Outlet. It was shared at my work what they're helping with. So for the SNAP as far as I put it in the chat.
Yeah.
They're doing like a 10% discount. But anyways.
I had seen that this morning too. If you have an EBT card, you can go through grocery outlet there in Roseburg and they'll give you a 10% discount on the groceries you buy if you can show your EBT card. I'd seen that earlier too. Thank you. Anybody else have anything? Go ahead, Corey.
I was going to say that's amazing for them because I've worked with them on different drug court community projects, and he had to cut back on some of his giving with some of the projects because I think he said he was receiving about 70% less of customers, you know, with Winco opening and other things. So he wasn't able to give like he has in the past. So it's amazing. They still are very community minded and doing this for people.
Thank you, Corey. And yes, any of these providers that need the help, he's been more than willing to help. The same with the grocery outlet here in Winston. They do a great job in the community also. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Okay. I think we're pretty well past our quit time, but we've had a great meeting again. And I want to share again that we'll have our next meeting Tuesday. Is that December, the first Tuesday? I don't have my calendar with me. Tuesday, it's the first Tuesday in December, whatever that date that is. And hopefully everybody will have a great Thanksgiving. Behave yourself on Halloween coming up. And hopefully we'll see everybody again in December. So I will adjourn the meeting and thank you everybody for coming.
It'll be December 2nd, just so you know. And for those going to the Neowalla Parade, Douglas County is going to have a booth and we're featuring the Douglas County Juvenile Department. So if people are out there, come say hi to me and Wendy and other folks that are helping with our booth.
Very good. Thanks.
Thank you.